it's your girl, Cringe Queen Cosplay. And today, if you read the title, you're probably pretty confused. So today's a more serious video, all in air quotes. And today we're talking about food neophobia. Yay! That was so sarcastic. So this is my story and just like other things you should know. And let's get on with it. Yay! Okay, so food neophobia is generally regarded as the reluctance to eat or the avoidance of new foods, and that's from Science Direct. So that's what food neophobia is if you've never heard about it. It's basically a fear of foods or new foods or stuff like that, or like stuff with eating and foods. Okay, so things that I deal with are probably and maybe different from what other people deal with. So don't think that like a lot of the things I deal with happen to a lot of other people, but some of them don't. So a lot of this is just what I deal with. So I don't like my foods touching each other really. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me. Like, I don't like start getting an anxiety or whatever if they touch, but it does make me uncomfortable, and I will try to separate them as much as possible. So yeah, and a thing that I do suffer with is when people are, I'm put in a situation where I'm like being forced to eat foods that I don't like or I'm not comfortable with, or it's just like there and I'm in an awkward situation where I'm not like eating it or whatever. I start getting anxiety, yeah, like I get, sometimes I'll get nauseous. I almost said nauseous. I get nauseous. It's like I'll get sick to my stomach, and like my hands will start like shaking and doing weird things. Like I'll twist my thumbs and I'll do weird hand things. And so yeah. So if you ever see me or like I'm in a situation with food and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not hungry, I probably had some form of like anxiety attack and I'm just not hungry, and you should just like just trust me, okay? Because like what makes me feel worse is when people are like, but you need to eat, you are hungry, eat food now, and I'm just like, but I'm not hungry, like you don't get it. I'm like not hungry at all. I feel like I'm going to throw up. It's just, it gets really stressful when people just like don't listen, and it's like, guys, I'm not hungry because I just like basically had an anxiety attack and I'm just not hungry anymore, okay? So yeah. So food neophobia doesn't really affect your health much. So I watched a video about this one kid, because I was like doing fancy research, who doesn't eat like anything, and I'm not that serious. I do eat food, and he eats nothing, so he has to eat out of a tube, and that part, it does affect his health, and I'll tag the video down below. And it does affect his health, but with my severeness and with a lot of people's severeness, it doesn't really affect your health, and it just affects like how you gotta live with your eating stuffs. So I'm also tagging 2 other videos down below. I can't remember who they're by. I'll put their name like here or something, but they actually gave me the confidence kind of to post this or explain about it, because that was one of the only videos in the sequel that like spoke to me, and I feel like it just needs to get out there and be seen by people. So another thing is there's not really pills to take and stuff. Like, I guess you could take like, there's like some anxiety pill or something, I don't know. Not that scientific, but I guess you could take that. I don't know how well it would work, but so far I haven't seen any pills or anything. Yeah. So now I'll read off a little list of foods that I get anxiety over, or I'm not really comfortable with, or I just don't like, and yeah, just not comfortable. So one of the really big ones is pizza, and a lot of people, or a lot of you might be just like, what? Pizza? How can you not like pizza? Who are you? Are you even American? And it's like, yeah, I don't like pizza. It's the sauce that bothers me. So, but like, still, if it has low sauce, I just can't. Like, but like other stuff, it's just like the red sauce, and just no. Another thing I don't like that surprises people is pasta, but it's mostly because of the texture. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, no. So another thing is turkey and different lunch meats. I don't do that. I just don't like it. I can't try it. Yeah. Makes me uncomfortable. Another thing is, I'm reading off a list. So another thing is beans. So the only beans I like is there are these pickled green beans, and those are my life. I love those. But like normal green beans, jelly beans are fine. But like, that was so sassy. But like baked beans, is that a thing? Grilled beans, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't like beans. I don't like soups. I just don't. I don't know, it's weird. And then the last thing that was on my list and that I could think of off the top of my head was grilled chicken, because like chicken tenders are like the one thing I can get everywhere and like I'm okay with, but grilled chicken is like a no-no in my book. Oh, another thing is tacos and burritos. I don't do that because of the meat, and yeah. I'm not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan, I'm not anything like that. I just don't like certain meats. Yeah. So, other stuffs. Whew. So, I can be around these foods. It's not like, oh no, I'm eating pizza. She can't be in the same room as me. She's gonna start flipping out. It's like, no guys, it's okay. Because I've had to deal with going to parties since I was a little kid and not eating pizza. We're okay. So yeah, that's not a problem. So being in the same room, the same table doesn't really freak me out. Sometimes if I get like really grossed out, I'll just like kindly remove myself, like politely from the table for a little bit, or go to the bathroom. Like once I was sitting on a couch and then like I got uncomfortable, like we were eating and I got uncomfortable, so I just sat on the floor kindly, and because I couldn't stand the smell and the grease and stuff, it was really gross. And so that's not something y'all need to worry about. Like if you're eating one of the foods on my I don't like these list, then don't start like flipping out and being like, oh no, it's cool, it's cool, we're fine. So if you're really worried about anything, I would just, if someone you know has food neophobia, I would just ask them and be like, is it okay if I blah da 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 da? It's really great if like I'm on a FaceTime or I'm on Skype or whatever, and then somebody's eating and they turn off their camera or they like move out of the way, like without even thinking about it. I feel like that's just, I don't know, I like when people do that. It's not necessary, like you don't need to. I'm not gonna be like, wow, you're eating in front of me, I'm so offended. It's like, no, but I don't know, it's just a kind thing to do, and I appreciate it a lot. And I also appreciate it when people like ask me things, like if you're willing to be like, hey, are you comfortable with this, or like, are you okay with this, and stuff like that. Like, it means a lot that people go out of their way to know if like I'm okay, which is nice. So basically, if you're eating and somebody looks uncomfortable, well, this is for all the time, if somebody looks uncomfortable in the situation, ask them what's up and stuff like that. But especially if you know someone has food neophobia and you're in an eating environment, you basically know what I mean, like parties, brunches, stuff like that, where there's food and you are expected to grab stuff and eat. And if they look uncomfortable or don't grab a lot of food, or I don't know, look like uneasy, or just in those situations, I would just like ask if they're okay and just be like, you're fine with, like, you have enough to eat, are you fine, da 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 da. Personally, I carry around snacks mostly in my bag, just in case if there's an environment and I just can't deal with it. So I just bring snacks just in case. And a lot of the times, if I was going to a party or something and I knew there would be pizza, I would eat lunch or whatever before. So then I just would be like, oh, I already ate, it's fine, ha ha ha. Stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of it really. So just watch out and think about other people. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, because it's good that people want to know and for other people's benefits and stuff. So if you have questions, leave them down below. You can ask on my Instagram or my Musical.ly or wherever you find me on the social medias. So follow me on Instagram, cringe.queen.cosplay. Musical.ly, it's the same way there. And subscribe and like this video. And please, I know you hear this a lot, but please share it with your friends and stuff, because I feel like this just needs to get out there and people just need to be aware. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.